Kobolds, and tonight we are playing Red Hand of Doom, Electric Boogaloo. But before I let Patrick take it away, check out the doobly-doo down below for our Extra Life link, as well as our sister shows through the Heroes Wanted collective of shows. But without further ado, take it away, Patrick.
Thank you, Stephanie. Welcome everyone to tonight's game. I am the Dungeon Master. I will be putting these players in a variety of situations and seeing which of my NPCs they kill first. Joining me tonight are...
Hello everyone, my name is Lorne, playing Dr. Bedme Eisen, the Tiefling Artificer Extraordinaire.
Hi everyone, my name is Chris. I'll be playing Maximilian T. Justice, Dragonborn Dragon Slayer. Wondering where our two absolutely in no way, shape, or form thieves have gone.
Hi, I'm Ian, and I'll be playing Seymour Sunkist, Warlock Newspaperman, and tonight's top story, The Veil Declares War.
I'm Stephanie, and I'll be playing Molly Goldman, Socialist Cleric, Defender of the Proletariat, and Saboteur.
And I am Brendan, and I'll be playing Julius, the Vidalcan Wizard, and Maximilian T. Justice. I sent them ahead to scout for us.
I mean, you did your part.
Indeed, and last session our party, in order to slow the advance of the 1,000-strong Red Hand horde, destroyed a bridge and bought a few extra days for the town of Drellin's Ferry to evacuate and hopefully prepare everything they need to have done. It was a battle where a dragon was insulted enough that they came down to the ground, where, yes, Maximilian quickly smited them into dust. And then Chirrup was able to shatter and knock over one of the towers, which ended up collapsing the bridge. So this job done, the party leveled up and has started, after a bit of a rest, heading back towards Drellin's Ferry with their comrade Workelnaw, an ancient forest giant who has since said his farewell. He is going to honor his bargain and go track down the few remaining forest giants in the woods, and will also try and harry the horde and hopefully slow them down even a little bit more. With that, you have a decent trek ahead of you to get back to Drellin's Ferry. So I will ask the party, do you wish to go at a standard pace, or do you want to try and push yourselves and get back to Drellin's Ferry in one day as opposed to the day and a half it would normally take?
How fast, judging by the map that we have, how fast is the horde going to be moving?
You had anticipated that the horde would be arriving in Drellin's Ferry in a few days. Taking down the bridge, you figured bought 2 or 3 days. And if Workelnaw is able to slow them down, that will be another few days. So at this point, you probably have anywhere from 6 to 8, maybe 9 days before they would arrive in Drellin's Ferry.
If they were at the bridge on this side of the bridge right now, how long would it take them to get to Drellin's Ferry? I guess is my question.
At a forced march, maybe a day and a half. But that's at a forced march. At a standard pace, if they're going straight down the road, 2 days maximum. That's going slowly.
Yeah, Max is in the mood to basically rush.
I agree.
Yep.
And do you want to stick with the road? Do you want to try and take any of the paths, knowing they may save you some time, but there is a possibility of getting lost as you did previously?
Road.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
go
I
by
think
the
the road's
road.
the best
Straight
bet.
path.
All right. So with a forced march, I'll have all of you give me a Constitution check, please.
Frankie is immune to exhaustion.
Not save.
Not save, checks.
Oh, check.
18.
Oof.
All right, 3 times
You-
better, twice as good.
Oh,
Twice as well.
Oh, I have inspiration.
Woohoo,
Can I re-roll that with
transformation.
inspiration?
Sure.
All right, let's do that.
That's not a bad idea. Because I've
you
heard
just
now-
keep doing 3 better every time. See if you roll a 12.
All right, let's see. If I do, does that mean I pass?
I would let you pass if you roll a 12. Oh,
Ah.
you skipped it. The algorithm is toying with you.
I'm gonna catch my inspiration as well.
So clearly, Max is the only one here
Oh.
of a military background.
Max, my feet hurt. Keep
What
carrying
marching
me.
song are you
Have a
singing,
bad
Max?
call.
I
Ah,
got
I
an
got a
11. That's
12.
usually a pass.
I'm singing a great cadence. It's hurry the fuck up, let's go.
So yes, all of you pick up 1 level of exhaustion, except for Maximilian.
What was the DC?
DC was 14.
Aw.
Oh. I
Yeah.
thought. Okay.
It's fine. We have so getting there in a day and having exhaustion means that we're just gonna have not exhaustion tomorrow.
Assuming
Yeah,
that we're not
it'll all
leaving.
be fine. Oh,
Right.
we gotta fight hard for the proletariat. I'm good.
And as you are marching along the road, we're going to cut to Drellin's Ferry. We see just some activity over the past couple of days. In the early morning, you see children, milking a cow, as in the back, their family is packing a wagon and stuffing as much food as they can into it. And we sort of pan then across the fields, and we can see there are people out amongst the field trying to collect what they can from this early harvest, as they look wistfully at the vegetables and fruits that are growing. And it would have been a really good season, and you can sense a lot of fear and regret at the same time in all of their faces. Moving in through the town, it is much quieter than you last saw it. Nobody is, in a mood of celebration after the harvest festival. You see in the area around Dolores' paddock, she is shoeing horses. She, looks a little bedraggled and tired, but not as tired as Morlin, the blacksmith and dwarf, who clearly has been up the last few days making horseshoes and bridle bits and getting, as you can see, what appears to be every animal that could possibly pull a wagon, pull a cart, carry somebody, as prepared as they have been able to make them, as this exodus, is happening across the town. We also see Sarana, the captain of the guard, leading a very ragtag, militia of maybe 50 people, wearing the sort of extra leather armor and things that they had in their armory, and clumsily handling spears. And, we see Jarrett and the owner of the Green Apple Tharma, who are, packing food and getting supplies and, aiding people as best they can, just trying to get as many things organized. You can also see that there are people that are seemingly trying to go about normal life and sort of scoff and laugh at these sort of preposterous things. You see an older man with long white hair and two large hounds, sort of hectoring them angrily as he's sort of, demanding service from Jarrett's shop, as he is simply trying to continue to buy his normal supplies for the season. And we see Norris Whiston, the leader of the town, sitting in his sort of, kitchen table. You see his wife with her hand on his shoulder as he just has a sort of panicked and dazed look across his face as he, attempts to calculate what he can possibly do. But with the news that Jor has brought about the actual size of the army of the Red Hand, where he was expecting maybe 100 strong, that they are closer to 1,000. That he is out of his depth. And speaking of Jor, we find him in the small temple, lying on a wooden trestle, Brother Darnay standing over him, giving him the last rites, muttering sadly to himself about who could be the person that murdered this good man last night, and then looking at a couple of other bodies and wondering who the hell is it in this town that is using this horrible situation to steal and seemingly settle scores. And as we pull back, we also see staggering up the southern roadway, red-haired, rags, falling occasionally, standing back up. This bedraggled dwarf staggers into town, calling for their cousin Morlin, collapsing into the arms of Jarrett. This is all what has been happening as you continue this heavy trek through these dark witchwood. You can still see piles of wolf dung, letting you know that the goblin riders still have some, control of this area. And if you had any doubt about that, coming into the town itself from the west this time, you can see, some of these farms have clearly already been emptied. Other people are still working, but some of them have been burned and clearly looted by some of these goblins still running raids into this area. Once again, you are met by Sergeant Hursk and a couple of these militia people on the road who look gratefully sort of at you as you approach this time. No, demanding identification or anything like that. Instead, you see just a worried, questioning face. And as you approach, he walks up to Maximilian and just says, "Is it as bad as the rumors are?"
It's about as bad as the rumors are. Actually, what are the rumors? I don't know what the rumors are.
Well, Jor came into town saying there's nigh on 1,000 of the hobgoblins and that are coming out of the mountains at us.
Oh, it's about that, and also some dragons, and we think some giants. The wolf riders.
Goblins.
Yeah.
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 The
Yeah, in
goblins
fact-
have still they've been bringing their little sorties into town. We've managed to stop one or two of them, but everyone's just afeared right now, and I I've never actually seen a dragon.
Well,
But for good news then, we do have a resident dragon slayer.
oh, please, 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 Doctor. It's nothing really. Listen, keep up the faith, man. We need to speak with Captain Anita immediately.
How
It-
many people are still on this side of the river?
Maybe 15, maybe 20. There's a few farmers who are loath to give up their fields because, I mean, frankly, without this year's crop, I'm not sure they'd have enough money to keep the land anyway.
Well, it's not like they're going to be keeping the land regardless. We've managed to delay them by a few days, but I wouldn't count on them being more than 5 days out. It'd be 4 at this point, right?
At the earliest, yeah. You
Yeah.
You do think you know, in your own mind, you think you may have bought more time, but yeah, at the very earliest they could get here would be then.
Yeah, if they pushed, they might be in the mind to do so. They're gonna get here in 4 days. We might have bought you 6, but
We are erring on the side of caution.
yes, you've got a couple of
Mhm.
days to wrap things up here. So it's not like you have to leave by tomorrow morning, but don't tarry.
We should
I've
get
already
everyone
sent my
over the
wife and-
river at least.
Yeah, I've sent my
Mhm.
wife and kids ahead.
Or we get
Yes.
everyone over the river.
Yes,
Through the
We
woods.
should do what we can on this side to deny our enemy safe harbor.
Yes. I need to speak with Captain. And he said Jor was here. Where's Jor right now? I need to share a drink with Jor. Where's Jor right now?
He's with Brother Durney. He was murdered in the night.
And well,
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, I'm not sure I heard you correctly. Did you just say murdered?
Aye, there's someone who's been seemingly settling scores or
If they
robbing people.
they killed Jor, they were not settling scores. They were aiding the enemy.
He came into town with a bag of gold.
Okay.
He offered it to the town to help out as best he could, and someone probably took it from him and fled in the night.
Okay. Molly, Seymour,
Yes. I mean,
Julius, Doctor, you go to see Brother Durney in the temple right now. I'm
All
going
right.
to go talk to the captain because I have to give a report now. I'll join you shortly.
okay, so after Max is kind of out of earshot, and I'm out of earshot of like a couple of the other people, I just kind of slyly turn to the rest of you and be like, okay, I only have one raise dead spell right at this moment in time,
We have
and I don't think we should
already
use it.
given Jor life once.
Yeah, I've already rested him once. At the
So
cost
we
of
rest the
300
giant.
gold.
Yeah, no, we did the giant, not Jor. Jor died in the last time we did this campaign, and we raised him. I thought.
No, I
No,
thought we did
you
both.
you raised him because he died at the Hydra.
We have raised 2
Oh,
NPCs
wow.
at this point.
Yeah.
I do not expect you to raise Jor. Please don't waste that.
No,
That's
no.
what I'm saying. I'm like, I believe in, I'm a defender of the proletariat, but my God, like, this is a time where,
I think we would all go and pay our respects.
We do not need Molly.
don't need him anymore. Yeah, I know.
Tomorrow, you could prepare, speak with dead, and we could find out who killed Jor.
I
We need
think
to
I
rest in
could.
this town anyway.
I could do that.
It would be important to root out whoever is aiding our enemy, whether intentionally or not.
Yes, indeed. I'm just saying, I feel guilty. Oh my god.
It is unlikely
Oh my not gods.
that Jor would be dead were it not for us. However, he would likely have died in the next few days regardless, as the hobgoblins swept through the forest.
I don't know. He was talking about heading south, finally retiring, settling down.
Oh man, he was just
I
3 days from
could
retirement.
die a little inside.
Was he going to buy a boat?
Aye. He said he was going to name it the Live Forever.
Oh man,
Mendoza!
his kid was in college. He was just about to graduate.
And just paid off those loans too.
All right. So I guess you split off, the larger group heading off to the temple to see Brother Durney. Maximilian, you head off to find Sorana, and you find her, at the main station, going over sort of names and details and watches. And, as you stride through, she looks up. You see a brief sort of relaxation, and then she kind of breathes in and steels herself and just says, "All right, how bad is it? Is it as bad as Jor said?"
I think Jor, as humble as he was, may have been understating it a little bit. We estimate possibly 1,000, maybe more hobgoblins. We know they have at least 3 dragons. We have early reports of giants. I'm not sure what forces they have to muster there. We've befriended one of the forest giants, and he's gonna attempt to rally the few others that are along the paths of the Witchwood and
Oh, there's
harass
still
them.
twist tusks in the woods? I thought they were all dead.
The twist tusks. Oh no, they did. Oh, the twist tusks are the giants.
Yes.
Well, they're mostly dead. Apparently, there's a couple of others still floating around. We met one guy. His name is Warkelnaw. Real nice guy. Real classy fellow. Yeah, so they're gonna harass them as much as they can, but they're probably not going to be able to slow them down that much. There's some sort of pig-headed cult in the woods. We're not entirely sure what that's all about, but they've been having skirmishes with them. So we blew up a bridge and killed a dragon. It's a long story. I'll tell you all about it sometime. We might have delayed them by about 4 or 5 days.
All right. Yeah, we should include Noro in this, even though, frankly, he's not really up to this. And he'll be the first to admit that. He's just been a little muddled the last while or so with all this information.
I'm sorry, do I know Noro?
He's the town speaker.
Oh, yes.
And Pelor save us, we can't fight an army like that. I've been getting people out of town as fast as I can, along with the help of Jarrett and Delora, but it's these people don't really want to go. They don't understand. They think they can fight this, or that we can fight this.
Yeah, I'll get myself over there as soon as I can. I have to visit the Houses of the Dead. I have to speak with Brother Durney. Yeah, I'll head back across the ferry and I'll see if I can visit some farms and convince them that no, they need to go. Do you have plans on burning the remaining fields?
You better speak to Noro about that. That is a council decision.
Right.
We brought it up, and of course the farmers around here are aghast at that idea.
Is there a town meeting happening soon?
There's a council meeting first thing, well, it could be later tonight or first thing tomorrow morning.
All right, I am going to need to be in that council meeting.
I'll make sure Noro knows that. You go see about your friend Jor. I mean, Delora and Jarrett were quite upset. They've known him for quite some time. Maybe I'll collect Noro and let's all meet up at the Green Apple in a little while.
Absolutely. May Torm and I guess Pelor guide us all, and I leave.
All right. And for those of you heading to the temple, I mean, it's a small town. It's not any kind of ostentatious temple by any stretch. You can see there are 3 bodies laid out. A couple of people have clearly come by and put either sort of flowers or small gifts down. And, Brother Durney, let me pull up his image. Steps forward and welcomes all of you, recognizes you from the festival and, just sort of, are you here to see Jor?
Yes.
I don't think you knew the 2 merchants at all.
What are their names?
And he sort of points over and he says, this one was Eldon, and the other one is one of the ladies that brings fruit in from, a couple of towns over. And, her name is Zara.
Zara and... so, is Seymour with us?
I'm writing that down, because this is 3 murders in one night, right?
He will let you know it's been over a couple of nights. And, he also says, they also found some remains out in the farms across the river that looks like goblins got them as well, but,
But these are different.
Yeah, they thought the merchants might have been gotten by goblins, but Jor was clearly in town and just has a couple of very precise stab wounds, according to Sorana. He was killed quickly, and, he'd come into town with a large bag of gold that he was offering to use to aid people, and somebody just took it for themselves.
Well, as I'm writing that all down,
You recognize the merchants, Seymour?
I don't know. Do I?
No, you'd know the family name of Zara, but they're well-to-do, but yeah, this is part of their route, and
I'm more from a few towns over myself, so I might not even know them all that well.
Yeah.
Just coming through occasionally selling newspapers doesn't mean I know everybody.
We know why.
Bodies?
Go ahead. Sorry.
I want to look at the wounds on the bodies.
Guidance.
Sure. Yeah, give me a medicine check.
I'd like to see, specifically, I'm checking to see if maybe they were made by the same weapons. So, guidance, but disadvantage is an 8.
Yeah, hard to tell if it's the exact same weapon, but it is, Jor very clearly, simple blade, looks like, dagger, it's not a sword, it's not deep, and the other ones you can see there are what appear to be arrow wounds, but as Durney sort of points out, it looks like they were stabbed and these arrows were sort of stuck in rather than shot in.
With that information from him, I'm going to say, I don't believe these were killed by goblins. I believe these were almost certainly killed by whoever killed Jor.
A serial
Whoever
killer.
killed Jor was not doing it for the gold.
I mean, wouldn't two merchants and a guy with a big bag of gold all be the same target for somebody who was doing it for the gold?
And Durney will say, aye, people are fleeing and, gold is tempting these days. Everybody knows merchants carry some kind of coinage on them. I don't know how much, but...
If you were to rob two merchants and take the time to try and make it look like a goblin attack, why would you not do the same for Jor?
I don't know. Didn't have time. Was interrupted. Was getting just careless because it worked twice before.
Jor could put up a fight.
Jor could put up a fight, which is something else that I wanted to mention. Jor survived most of our encounters with the hobgoblins. Well, all of our
he
encounters
did
with the
do
hobgoblins.
very well fighting them as well, so he would not have left them unharmed.
No common cutthroat would have been likely to kill him.
This was someone skilled.
Exactly. We need to be careful in this town.
And also targeted. What is the connection between all these? If, like, Jor helped us...
would be skilled at logistics. Merchants would be good for getting large amounts of goods out of town and to safety.
Their horses were also stolen, so we figure whoever did it took their horses and are long gone.
Or took their horses for the hobgoblins. And so they could not be used to help ferry what goods exist in the town away from here.
And Chirrup will pull you aside, Julius, and because they would recognize that the two merchants are killed in the similar way that the person that they were that they had found in the farm across the river as you were heading into the Witchwood was the same style of killing that was used there, and that was somebody who was on the run from the Thieves Guild in Brindle and part of the dragon cult that Seymour's dad, that group, was part of.
So lots of people would want that person dead.
Yep. But the use of making it look like the goblins did it is similar.
We should be careful. And we should take care to not make it clear that we have any other allies in this town. If they targeted Jor because he aided us, they would target others because they aided us.
All right, so where are we going next?
I have to wait 24 hours until I can cast Speak with Dead.
We just have to take a long rest.
Yeah, or a long rest, yeah.
You can prepare any of your cleric spells when you take a long rest. We are exhausted anyway. It would not be a bad idea to spend the night in town.
I'm not that exhausted. I have the healthy body and teeth of a peasant. Ah!
At this point, would it be fair?
Ooh, teeth of a peasant.
Ooh, hey,
Ooh.
there you go. You're gonna
Bonus
die.
points if you recognize where that comes from. If you
Ooh.
recognize the reference.
Nope.
Simpsons?
Nope.
Terry Pratchett.
Think Russian literature.
Grapes of Wrath?
That's not Russian.
That's not Russian.
No.
Dostoevsky?
Yeah, Dostoevsky, yeah. What's it called? Oh, jeez.
Is it Anna Karenina?
Peace?
Close.
Well,
It's
stop
Ivan.
keeping us in suspense.
It's Ivan Illich. The Death of Ivan Illich.
All right. Would it be fair to say that Max
Leo Tolstoy.
Unfortunately, I don't know as much Russian literature as I should. Possibly. Also, I've accidentally closed my my game. Good stuff.
All right, and as you are about to depart the temple, outside you see Morlin waiting for you, and he just looks up and says, "I heard you were back. I think I've got some bad news you're going to want to hear."
All right.
Would I want to hear?
Would I have joined the party at this point?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to see Jordan. Oh no, Eldon, Fruit Lady. Anyways, sorry, I was needing to make that joke. All right, Marlon.
Yeah, what is it?
And he leads you down the very short road from the temple to his smithy, which, as opposed to the last time you saw it where it was in, everything was in its place and very clean, you can tell it looks like it has been frantically worked over the past few days.
You look rough,
and
Marlon.
But, the muscles ache, but it's a good ache. We've got to get these people out of town. I got no family here, so I want to get the women and children out first. But, he opens the door and you can see resting in sort of a darkened room that still feels really warm from his workshop, is an older dwarf, red hair streaked with sort of silver, looks in quite, sort of rough shape. And Morlin introduces them as, and he sort of rolls his eyes. We just all call each other cousin, but this is Ralston, and Ralston has come out from the Hammerfist Holds. They usually bring me ore and things like that for me to work with, usually once, twice a year, that kind of thing, and I've been waiting for this last shipment because it's been late, but Ralston's told me why. What do you know of the Hammerfists?
Dwarven
Dwarves in
Hold,
the south, right?
Dwarven Holds in the south.
Yep.
Not very many dwarves left.
They always
Who am I
called me the
thinking of
stink
another?
eye when I'd pull up in the wagon.
I mean,
It's
for
not-
centuries,
it's
the
not
dwarves there
dwarf-
worked in peace, making some of the most masterful metalwork known, but, even some magical blades whose, Ilk was unknown elsewhere. That Dragon Slayer sword you're carrying probably came from there.
Oh, hey.
But over time, they grew wealthy, and the strike of the hammer on anvil waned, and now only one of the holds actually produces anything. And the rest of them became more obsessed with, well, producing only the best. And they produced their weapons to keep them in a great hoard in the vaults beneath the earth. And, they turned their gaze further down inside the mountain, the volcanoes, and retreated from the Vale. But the citadel Grungharaz was built atop a volcano, which allows them to do a lot of their work, but they had to fight some of the original owners there, some fire giants centuries back. And Ralston says that about a year ago or so, a couple of fire giants and one of the other dwarves poisoned the ear of the leader there, and apparently they've been forging weapons that this horde coming down from the mountains are going to collect after they come here.
So we need to get there first? So there's a horde of weapons that we could use to fight these bastards.
Or at least shut down the forges there so they can't produce more weapons.
It's built on top of a volcano.
How far is it? I know I've been there before, I assume, or at least tried to sell newspapers there and probably got the, stink eye till I left.
Oh, you got the bum's rush.
Oh yeah, dwarves are really good at looking down on people.
I probably
Usually
tried to
they'll find
unionize there and
people
got
met.
met with mixed results.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they have
so
to
the
lean pretty
holds-
far back, but they can look down on you.
Yeah, the holds are here, and there's three holds, three basically enclaves inside the Hammerfist holds. And the citadel is here. So,
Ross referencing Koth's map? They're not on Koth's map, correct?
they are not.
Is it likely that... Do we believe that they were going to bypass the dwarves entirely?
We thought that, but
It wouldn't make any sense while building a horde for Tiamat to not try and grab every magical item you could.
Well, if they've struck a deal with this horde to produce weapons for them, then they wouldn't be on an invasion map. They would just be on a map.
Dwarves are quite proud creatures. I do not see
Yes.
them bowing to Hobgob.
Fire giants, however, would. And if they've managed to corrupt one of the dwarves and have started to produce a vast quantity of high quality weapons for the horde,
I would not side with the dragon cult. I can't imagine many would.
perhaps it's more mercenary than that. Maybe they're just getting paid a whole lot of money.
Everybody roll me an insight or history check, please.
oh, they're the same.
Then close your eyes and point.
14. Huh, cool.
11.
9.
Molly, you tweak to something a word that was spoken.
Okay.
And you hearing that the head of the citadel had perhaps been turned and had poison put in their ear, you remember one of the notes that you took off at the keep
Oh,
It talked about the wyvern reporting their poison took in 1, and then reporting the poison took in 2.
the poison! Poison in ear! Poison in the notes! Look, look, look! And I'll point it, and I'll like frantically flip through these notes and be like, the poison took in 1, then the poison took in 2. 2 of the dwarves!
Does the poison corrupt you, or does it just kill you?
Maybe it's a mind. It could be a metaphor. Maybe they just convinced 2 dwarves to join their side. Maybe it's literal. Maybe there's a mind-bending potion, some sort of charm effect going on. Either way, they got 2 people on the inside.
They could have 1 on the inside in Drellin's Ferry and 1 in the holds.
Well, there's been murders here already. But let's say, best case, we get to the Hammerfrost holds and they're not, going to bow down to the coming horde. Can we convince them? Is there any way? And I'm asking, what's the, we're talking to Moreland right
and
now. Yeah, Moreland, right.
Yeah, and then Ralston.
What are the odds, asking them both, that they're even going to accept us trying to get them to help?
And Ralston will speak up and just say, we are slaves currently. There are some that still have a spark of fight in them.
That's good news. No, that's not good news. That's something we can use. But do we leave all these people to go? Oh, and Seymour is just like rubbing his temples, like, I'm getting a stress headache. Oh, what do we do, guys?
It's not good. I'd rather stay with the people.
Here's some white willow bark.
I chew that.
Yeah. I don't want to leave the people, but we cannot let that arms cache fall into the Horde's hands. We can't.
Would be disastrous.
Yes. Without it, we might stand a chance. With it, if it's magical weapons built over centuries, then no. Not in any way, shape, or form.
If we free the dwarfs, and I'm asking, I guess, Moreland and his cousin again, if we free the dwarfs, will they come to our aid and fight the goblins?
I don't know. They've been apart from man for so long. And I don't know what condition they're in, but it would certainly hold sway, hopefully, with the other holds. I doubt the other 2 even know this is happening. They couldn't have let this go for a year.
So, and it's this hold here, the one on the left, right? That's the.
Yeah.
And how long will it take us to get there? Like a week?
Moreland scratches his beard and just says, I bet Sir Tiernan could just teleport you there. He owes me a favor.
Okay, we get Tiernan to teleport us there, and then we have to make our way back to, assuming we spend 2 days out there, we'd have to make our way back to probably not Neiman Gap, but probably somewhere along Talar Douth on the way to Brindle. If that makes any sense. If the evacuees are leaving now or in the next couple of days, they'll be in Neiman Gap by the time we get there.
But they need to get to which one? Brindle's the one with the walls, right?
Brindle is where they need to get to. Listen, there's a town meeting happening possibly tonight, possibly tomorrow morning. We need to be there.
I agree.
After that,
get to
the holds.
Give me a little bit to get all our evidence in order, so that we'll be able to lay out our case effectively.
Yeah, we need to have an evacuation plan. We've sent out word to as many people as possible. Brindle is sending word, sending word to everyone they can. We've got a few other people. Word is going to spread very quickly on this, but we need to make the case to the farmers here that they need to kill their fields and go, because that will slow them down by another day or two, because they're going to need to go scavenging in the forest rather than just harvesting all of these lovely crops.
Agreed.
So we are going
Maybe a hard
to the
winter.
Hold. Yes, we're going to the holds.
My book only writes to the press, right, Patrick?
Correct.
All right, so I'm going to write to the press just quickly in the book and send a message to... Oh, could we go back to the map for a second? Or we don't need to, never mind. Which town was it that... it was Terrelton was where the family's farm was?
No, your family farm is Neiman Gap.
Neiman Gap, okay, so...
Yeah, Terrelton is mostly livestock.
No, so I'll send a message to the caretaker there that refugees are going to be on their way, and prep like everyone else, but be prepared to help as best we can.
Can you also
I know
send-
I don't have permission for any of this. I'm just, this is something we have to do.
Seymour, can you also send a message to my mother and my commune there?
We will send any messages we need to. We'll send out riders from Brindle. We'll pay for it. Eventually. Paper's making a little money now. I think we can afford at least a few riders.
I'm sure your father would be very interested in this information as well.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I've got something else I have to do before we get to this council meeting. And Seymour will head off to see Jarrett.
All right. What's everybody else doing?
Heading back to Captain Serana, and I'm going to update her on the situation and the plan, and basically see if I get can we get this to happen tonight?
I'm gonna back across the river and head to the peasants.
All right.
I think I would join with Julius, because we shouldn't travel alone.
Wizards versus farmers.
I actually have the second highest AC total in the group. Well, tied for the second highest AC total. So, yeah.
You'll do fine. I'm sure those scythes won't hurt a bit.
All right. So Julius and Badme, you head across, take the ferry across the river once again, start making your way across to the farmsteads. Molly, what are you getting up to?
I'm gonna write a letter to my mom. I'm going to ask her very politely to activate her Temperance League to help warn people to run away from and to also fight these goblins. I'm also going to warn my little commune in Neiman Gap about what's happening and to start gathering as much food as possible right now and to just get the heck out of Dodge. And put out a notice to any, of my leftist underground, if they're willing to fight, be on the lookout for a hobgoblin horde.
In 5 days.
In 5 days.
Minimum, or at least 4 days.
Well, the commune's like a good 5 days up the road, right?
Yeah. So yeah, they're
doing a 10-day there.
yeah at the earliest.
Yeah, but I want to gather as much food as possible, and that's going to take a couple days. Plus all the food we have in storage, because it's going to be a hard winter for burning crops. People are going to starve.
Well, it's that or lose your crops and die anyways.
I know, I understand the strategic importance.
Yeah.
My commune has a lot of food set up.
Crop.
Let's save it instead of burn it.
Have the enemy take your crops and use them themselves. It's a lot worse than losing them.
Yep.
I don't want them using our stores. Put those stores on a wagon and GTFO.
All right. Yeah, you settle in at the Green Apple. Start writing your letters. Tharma, the proprietress, recognizes you and just asks, "Have you eaten your cupcake yet?"
Not yet. I have it saved for when I get into a pickle.
All right. And yeah, before you leave, Moreland will say that the head of the Citadel was a female dwarf named Gerdis Blazenstrike. And he's just sort of aghast that anyone would let the smithy fall back into, or the forge fall back into Fire Giant's hands. All right, and Maximilian, you see Sorana, and she immediately says, "Oh, you are all welcome at the council meeting in the morning. Should get a little feisty."
Right. Is it possible we can move that up to tonight?
I'll ask. I mean, it's already getting late in the evening, but
Yeah. Here's the thing.
I'll see.
Yeah, and I will update her on the situation with the holds and say we might need to get oh god, what was his name? The wizard, the gnome wizard?
Oh,
Tiernan or
Sir Tiernan.
Sir Tiernan. We might need to get Sir Tiernan to teleport us to the Hammerfist holds. And we might have to meet you in Neiman Gap. There's a situation there that cannot stand. And I fill her in.
She is horrified, and she sighs and says, "I heard from Brindle. They're going to try and get the dwarfs on our side and are sending a wagon full of money there as soon as they can raise it. So hopefully some of the Hammerfist denizens are still willing to fight with us."
Well, hopefully all three will be after we get there. Or at least what's left of the third. Yeah, I think, listen, I'm able to force march for a day. The rest of my party aren't. I think they might need a good night's rest anyways here, but I would rather get plans sorted by tonight.
She just kind of ruefully grins and she says, "Oh, I know all about civilians. I've been trying to train the militia here, and
It's like herding cats, isn't it?
they don't have the stamina. They don't have the... Well, they're frightened and they're doing their best."
I understand. All right. I will help out here as much as I can. But yeah, I sent the two.
She pulls out a stack of paperwork and just says, "By the way, you're behind in this."
Ah, damn it! Paperwork and Star Wipe 2.
I don't want the star wipe. I'm a fade or nothing.
Okay, fine. Star Wars right to left wipe 2.
All right, Seymour, you find Jarrett in her shop. You can see most everything has been packed away. She, has sort of, dirt across her face. Her hair's a little unkempt as you come through, and without even looking up, she says, "I'm sorry, we're closed."
Oh, it's not about that. How are you?
I don't even know. I came here to settle down, and I don't even seem to know the people in this town anymore.
I saw. Oh, sorry. What was our guide's name? It was
You son of a bitch.
Oh, come on.
Jor.
Sure.
Sure. Yes. Sorry.
It's
Why is it
3
not in our
letters.
list of people?
What list of people?
Drellin's town folk.
He didn't live in Drellin's Ferry.
Oh well.
He lived in the woods.
Anyway, I just saw Jor.
That's what I mean. The fact that people are so angry and desperate now that they'll kill for gold. I mean, I know you're well-to-do, but for those of us that, aren't, it's horrifying to see what people do for greed.
Before this is over, it won't be just about gold. It's just going to be about eating. We need to get everything and everyone out as fast as we can. I know you've been doing that. It is frustrating.
Yeah, but gold helps. Delora and I have been doing what we can along with Morlun, and, not charging for nearly anything.
I've got a little bit put by. Is there any wheels that need greasing? Anything that would help speed things up with just a little cash?
How much do you have? Oh, your wagon was broken into, but it doesn't look like anything but the booze was taken.
Oh,
No.
headbang on the fucking counter. That's okay. I've got this, and I'll pull out my little gold sack. It's about 460 gold. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. Like, this is about cutting and running.
That's more money than some people here see in a lifetime.
It's just the little bits I've been able to find when we've been adventuring, but if it helps anything, just take it, and he'll push it across the counter. If they only took the booze, that means the food's still in the cart, the blankets, all my other stuff, my paper, my pens. I'm okay. That means the horses are fine. Everything's good. Booze can be replaced.
Well, I'll thank you, and I'll make sure this gets to Delora and Morland's hands. She's given up a couple of horses, and he's been going through, I think, every bit of scrap iron he has, shoeing them.
If you can buy metal just to get people out faster with the good horseshoes that'll last until at least until we get to the next town, then do it. Are you coming to the council meeting tonight?
I'm not on the council.
I know, but is it not like one of those council meetings where you have like the town can show up? Patrick, out of character, I mean.
This one wouldn't be.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, she just says, I'm not a real property owner here yet.
All right, well, I'm gonna keep pushing what I've been pushing, like Flea, but hopefully we can convince them to speed this up. And I'm afraid we have to torch all the fields. Buildings can be replaced, crops can be resown, but lives can't be brought back. Well, not for, more money than that. And he points at the sack.
Jor said you already brought him back once.
Jor was a good man.
He was. He deserved better than what he got.
And he got us, and that's what's sad. It just seems that's why I want everyone to flee. It seems like when everyone's around us, just things get worse. We're trying, but it's demoralizing, you know?
You can't blame yourself for that. That was some cowardly thief who's probably long gone from town by now.
All right, well, I need to go, and he's going to pat his big old binder full of notes. Prep for the meeting tonight. Late dinner?
I need to sleep.
Fair enough. Well, if we have to go... Oh, and he'll... I also didn't mention, and he'll explain the dwarf stuff, so we may be running off. So if I'm not here tomorrow morning, just do what you can, please. I know you have been, but just thank you. I appreciate it.
She nods and just says, thank you. Good luck.
Good luck to you. And I will turn and leave, and as Seymour exits the door, Broke, he actually feels far lighter. And for, the first time in a long time, he feels like, you know what, we might do this. Let's go see if they shit in my bed.
All right. Out in the farms, Julius and Badme, you see, a couple of empty farmhouses as well, but there are still a couple that Hursk will point you towards as holdouts. You see there are still fires burning, and, it is getting to late evening, so, as you approach, you see a man and a woman out on their front porch who sort of raise a hand as you approach and say, I think you've come close enough. How may we assist you?
Hello, my name is Julius. This is Dr. Padme Ison.
Hello.
I have come to try and convince you of what we have seen and what is coming.
Oh, we've heard about them goblins. We don't think it's such a big deal, and Mister, I can't afford to leave.
This goblin force is larger than you think it is. It is more overwhelming than you could imagine. If you stay here, you will die. There is no question about it. There is no stand and hold your own home. This horde is death.
Hey, man, I saw that thing at the festival. It didn't say they were going to kill us. It just told us to flee, and we would be all right.
Are you fleeing?
And the wife sort of pipes up and says, we've got a place in the cellar we can hide.
That is not fleeing. That is hiding.
It's worked for
They
us in the
will
past.
ransack everywhere. They will burn your lands after taking your crops. You will not survive if you stay here. If you flee, you will.
Hey, look, quiet. I've got kids. I don't need them hearing this.
Then they should live by going to Brindle with the rest of the refugees.
And he, steps down off the porch and sort of comes towards you. I can't afford that.
Right now, money is not an object you should be concerned with. When all of this is over...
That's someone who doesn't have a tithe to pay on their land.
I'll
I'll lose this if I don't get
What?
this crop.
What is your tithe?
When this is over, any outstanding tithes will be forgiven. I will make sure of that. It is unreasonable to expect anyone to be able to pay them when 1,000 hobgoblins and dragons and ogres come rolling out of the mountains and taking everything in sight.
Yeah, you tell Yormul that. If Yormul says I don't have to pay him, then we can leave. But, mister, he's not going to say that. Yormul's never given a copper away.
So this Yormul is the reason that we can't just simply ask you to leave.
It's one of them. If I lose this land, I lose something my family's had for generations.
When this is over, if you are safe in Brindle, then you can come back here and reclaim it. If you stay
Roll me
here,
a persuasion check, please.
oh boy.
With advantage.
Okay,
You and Badmay, you started off intimidating and then you softened.
I'm not intimidating. I am simply telling the truth.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
intimidating.
Okay, it's an
Like
intimidating
you're using
truth.
fear. Yeah.
It's an intimidating truth, but we're not trying to intimidate.
Yeah. And he will nod and just says, yeah. Like I said, if you can get Yormul to say I don't have to worry about this year's tithing, then oh yeah, we'll leave as soon as we can.
Where is Yormul?
He sort of points across the river at one of the larger homes and just says, yeah, he owns quite a bit of the land around here. 3 or 4 farms, and those of us that have had a couple of bad seasons, he's helped us buy seed, but I mean, seriously, if I can't pay him, he's going to foreclose and take this land.
Let's go see Yormul, Dr. Badmay Ison.
Okay.
So, and with that, they, wish you good night and good luck. And, you can see they're both afraid, but still look like they still feel like they're a little bit stuck, but, perhaps a slight bit of optimism has been given.
I may or may not be about to lightning bolt this man.
Oh, thank God. I was like, I can't wait till Julius does a completely emotionless beatdown of this man.
Glad Molly isn't there. She'd be totally down with beating up a landlord.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, the oppression of the proletariat. You know who to turn to.
Yeah,
We grab
Yeah.
Molly Goldman on the way.
definitely. Like
All
this is
you're needed. Let's go.
This is like her whole thing.
Are we going to beat up a landlord? Really? Really? Really?
Well, I'm not there. Never mind. Sorry.
No, we are going to convince a landlord, or we are going to kill a landlord.
Yes,
Can we
Molly,
skip
there
just
is-
straight to the killing?
No.
No. You may convert him first.
Okay.
Well, and you
If
go
that
to his
doesn't work,
home
then
and
we will go to murder.
find out that he has been called to the town speaker's home for a late town council meeting, where you can arrive just in time as the council is about to sit down, and you see the rest of your party is there as well. But
Yeah,
we'll take a
Seymour's
5-minute
got
bio
me.
break and
Yay!
come back to a landlord beatdown, apparently.
I
Woohoo!
want to point out, Julius is not good.
Okay, and I'm
Is he
going to turn to
neutral?
Badmay
He
and
is
be like,
lawful
Badmay,
neutral.
All right.
Badmay.
And as far
got
as he is
poison?
concerned, a lot of laws get thrown out when you're going to war.
I'm chaotic neutral.
All right, we're not assassinating people in council meetings.
Is everyone still here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go pee, but
Yeah. I just want to say one final cutscene as Seymour turned and left out of the shop was Jarrett sliding a dagger back into the sheath on the side of her leg. Seymour might not have been leaving with that money either way.
Dun dun dun.
You're sweet on Jarrett,
Oh,
right?
boy.
Yo, totally sweet on Jarrett. That's
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
why do you
She
think I
was-
just gave her all my gold?
I know.
And I feel good about that. This
Exactly.
is gonna crush me. Oh, I'm giggling inside. Okay, I'm gonna go pee pee. Be
Can
right
you have a
back.
drink?
Yeah, I'll be back.
So I've been working on my homebrew world more.
And
When it's here. I'm like working on like right now there's airships, and I'm like making the differences between the different cities' airships. And trying to come up with 5 different ideas for 5 big cities is hard. For like visuals and also how they would actually function. To be different and not just this is the airship stat block that everyone uses.
so why are they different? Did they all come create this sort of technology independently?
No. But the cities have different philosophies, and so they fight differently. Like the death worshipping warlike city uses airships that are literally just either boarding ships or designed to fly up next to the other ships and explode. Whereas the one that's like mostly just like a mercantile city has airships that are just more or less patrols, like built for patrolling the city or the seas, so that their ocean-bound merchant fleets are protected from pirates.
Neat. So how many do you have done?
3 of them. I have those 2, and then the sort of Athens analog is their ships look like early like 20th century battleships.
What
But
is
flying.
this now?
What ship?
I am talking about my homebrew world with airships.
Ah, okay.
Cool.
So battleships in the air.
Yeah, well, one of the cities has battleships in the air.
Is one of them called the Ticonderoga?
No.
Oh, that wasn't a battleship. I think that was a frigate.
Oh, that was a safe house in Fallout 4.
Was it? I
Yes.
guess, yeah.
They all have like their own naming motifs. The one's named after birds of prey. One of them is named after like ingenuity, necessity, like that kind of thing.
What about famous individuals?
That's going to be the Sparta analogs ship. and they're saying I haven't named them yet, but they're saying is going to be the biggest ship is always named after the current king, and if we build a bigger ship or if it goes down, the next biggest ship is now named that.
So the flagship is
Yes.
always named
Yes.
after the current
I'm back.
ruler. The question is, do they always just one-up it by building it just slightly bigger?
Yes, probably. I don't know yet on them. I haven't written much about that city yet.
See, what I would do is I would have them cannibalize the old flagship to construct the new one, and then rechristen
So it's
it.
Theseus' ship.
Yeah, but think of the philosophy behind that. Of you take the strength of the old to form the new.
Be sure to have the next ruler install a set of truck nuts on the back of the ship. Just to one up them
Oh.
even a little more. Or a really phallic prow.
That's all you need to make the ship bigger.
Of course, you all want it bigger, but you don't realize it's how you steer it is what matters.
Oh, I accidentally closed Lornal. Can you reopen that one for me?
Is that Lormel or Yormel?
Yormel.
That's an I.
Oh, it's an I.
It is German, yeah.
Yeah, as if, there was a common way with the letter I to denote that it is in fact, a different letter than the lowercase l.
And the lowercase L's
Yeah.
there, and it doesn't have anything different. Like sometimes
Yeah,
you'll get like the 1 pixel offset at the bottom. You know what I mean?
Or
Yeah.
even just the slight curve at the bottom of it.
Yeah, like
Yep,
little
I've
1
seen the
pixel
little
offset.
curve, yep.
It's why I hate Ariel.
I mean, she's so pretentious. Like, ooh, I'm a little rich girl, but I need to go up to the big world.
Oh, you can't put the little like vertical line that's not either an L or an I in chat.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
You mean this one?
You can't put it in chat. You got to put it in
Damn.
Discord.
But can you put it in Discord and copy it, paste it into
I
the
think
chat?
that's what Lauren just did.
What did you say?
The vertical bar. Type. Yes, that's what I've heard it referred to as.
Nope,
Yeah.
it works. It works.
Yeah, no,
I got
did
it.
Yeah.
I thought that Nora Whiston was the speaker.
He is.
Okay, who's Yormel?
Yormel's a wealthy landowner that,
He's the one we
You've
want to
heard-
murder.
Oh,
yeah. He's the guy who was walking down the street with a pair of large hounds.
All right, so town council meeting involves Nora Whiston, town speaker, Yormel, wealthy douchebag, Captain Serana Anita, guard captain, and who's the
And
stable master. Sir Tierden.
the
I'm always
wise.
happy. I'm always happy when I see you, serotonin, because it increases my serotonin.
I don't know what that is, but thanks. Is that one of the humors?
Yes, one of the
right?
brain humors.
Ah, fascinating.
The one that makes you happy, I believe. I read it in a book once.
Ooh, fancy lad, book reading. Little rich boy here.
Oh, it's all I could do as a child. Terribly sick, weak lungs. shows his basically concave chest. Seymour's always had the fucking concave chest.
Yeah, and Max, Captain Nita just catches your eye at this and just rolls her eyes.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, terrible marcher.
Is
I
everybody
got
here?
flat feet. We are.
Lauren?
Yeah, I haven't left since I said I was back.
All right, great. So you are all gathered now in the sitting room of the Speaker's house. Here with you are Sir Tiernan the Wise, Captain Sorana Dolorazon, the woman who owns the town's livery stable, and a tall, sour-faced man named Yormel, who is evidently a person of some property. Along with Nora Whiston, these people comprise the town council. Well, you all know why we're here, Whiston says without preamble. In a matter of days, we're going to have an army of goblins, hobgoblins, and various monsters on our doorsteps. What do? Fight. Try to talk to them, abandon the town and flee like some already have, or do nothing and hope to the gods they don't actually come this way. Since I have heard from Sorana that these heroes here have taken out the Skullgore Bridge, which, yes, I mean, unfortunately, it's sad that you had to do that. I mean, when things do get back to normal, we'll need that bridge. There'll be no trade along the Dawn Way until we build a new one.
Bridges can be rebuilt.
Indeed.
And if you're
With whose coin? Speaks up Yormel.
Well, when
You don't
have
need
all
coin,
gone,
you
there
just
will be
need the
quite
might of the
a big
people!
hoard that the hobgoblins will leave behind.
What makes you think they've got money now? If they've got money, it'll be ours. It's why we need to stand and fight before they take anything from us.
Yeah, and any money that they have now, they've already taken from other people.
I will.
You say
They've
to
waylaid a
stand
few
and fight.
merchants.
I'm sorry, you say to stand and fight?
I always stand and fight.
And how many hundred can you face?
Alone.
I have already attempted to bring in some fighters and mercenaries.
Then
They
where
should
the
be
hell
here in a
are
f-
they?
They should be here in a few days.
How many fighters and mercenaries, Yormel?
I've asked for 100. We can't let them take everything we've worked for.
I don't think
Worked
you
hard for just because
I don't
you lack
believe
the nerve to stand up to this rabble.
and the
Excuse me?
number of hobgoblins that are coming, nor do you understand what they are bringing with them.
But we can show you. And Seymour will come up to the table and start laying out first. Speaker Winston, you said even if they're coming, I will put down the map with their battle plan on it.
We
Looted
recovered this
from-
Wrathkeep.
Pardon me?
I'm saying to the room we looted this, or we recovered this from Wrathkeep.
Oh, thank you, Julius. Yes.
And what do these goblin scribbles say?
And Seymour will point out each one and translate. Because I always thought they were in common, but I assume they would have been in Goblin. I can
Yep,
just
they
read
are
every
in
script.
Goblin. I read Goblin.
Yep,
Well, I can read everything. That's why I would have assumed.
they're in Goblin and Draconic.
And yeah, I will translate each one. We also have the testimony of a number of our combatants, and Seymour will, flip to his notebook. And there were a few goblins that, said, "We're coming for you. We're coming over to get the veil," and that kind of thing, right? I remember at least a few saying stuff like that.
Didn't we take a prisoner?
I think, yes, we have some notes on that, and
We killed the prisoner afterwards, didn't we?
You did.
He was
Yeah.
a dick.
Regardless of your mercenary plan, there are at least 1,000 hobgoblins, dragons, ogres, warg riders, goblins. This
Yes.
force is larger than what you can afford to fight. With all the
Any
gold
of
you
us
own.
can afford to fight.
But Yormal, good news. Of the 4 dragons that we know are in this army, we've managed to kill 1. Barely. At great cost.
Do you have any proof of that? Or is it just
I-
words?
I will
We do actually.
pull out the
That may just drop the dragon tongue.
dragon's
on the
wrath.
table.
Damn.
No, I don't slam it on the table. I
No,
carefully
because it'll
pull it.
explode.
Yeah, exactly. And say, I harvested this from the one we just finished off. It is its poison gland.
And you see Sir Tyrion's eyes widen in kind of a grin. He says, look, they want treasure, don't they? Let's give it to them this time. Perhaps we can negotiate, but see to our defenses. If they come back next year and ask for more, then
They
by then
are
we'll be
not
ready to
coming.
fight them.
They are not going to be satisfied with whatever tribute you offer them.
They want
Their
everything.
goal is to
Their
build
plan
a
is
horde
everything.
for
Their
Tiamat.
goal is to free their god. They have some plan that involves the entire Vale, and they are fanatics. They are not stopping. They are marching straight to Brindle. They will move the entire Vale aside. You cannot negotiate. You cannot surrender. You cannot buy them off, Yormal, with any amount of gold. They will take what is yours. They will slaughter all who stand in their way. The only option is to retreat to a position of strength and fight them there. Gather
We
allies, stand in their way as much as possible, and resist only in a place where we can. This town is not one of them. That river will not stop them. The bridge did not stop them. We have only seen a fraction of their army. They drove us back. We cannot face it, and you cannot raise enough mercenaries. You must
Ladies,
leave. You
gentlemen.
must leave right now.
And at this, Delora just sort of grimly nods and says, look, I've seen towns put to the sword before. Death or slavery await us if we remain here. We must continue to gather the things we can and flee east, and the sooner the better.
And we must deny the enemy access to anything we cannot take.
We
Look, I'll
stand
put it-
together
What do you mean by
and
that?
maybe live.
If we burn the crops that we cannot bring with us, then we deny them the ability to use them to survive. We weaken them before they come upon us, and thus we are stronger.
You
If
are
we
going to
destroy
lose
the
them.
ferry,
Yes, you're going to lose them anyways. Harvest what you
Indeed.
can, burn the rest.
And you see Whiston is just a little flustered and seemingly kind of, sort of indecisive at this point. And he's sort of looking around, like, well, I don't see it. It could hurt at least to ask what they really want.
what they really want.
But maybe we
is
should tell
Tiamat.
folks to get their children and the elderly in the wagons heading east while we still can.
Well, definitely,
I mean-
everyone should be heading east, though. Like my
I will start pulling out notes and I will
Yep.
start reading them. Does this sound like do these sound like the notes of someone who is willing to accept reason? And I start reading them, the Stormcaller's notes. I start reading them Karn's notes. I start reading all of the notes they have. What are the other notes we've got?
Grab Seymour's book and start reading off Seymour's notes.
I bring out the curious note that mentions the threats in town.
And at that, yeah,
Spider.
yeah, Serena will be like, now you brought this with you from Brindle. So they've already had somebody.
They have
Through
spies.
here?
They have spies in this town
They
right
are
now.
hobgoblins. This is not an unordered horde. This
indeed.
group has discipline. They have intelligence.
They have resources.
strategy.
They have leaders who actually know what the fuck they are doing.
Hmm. And they are here to kill
We are
and
fairly
take
skilled at what we
everything.
do, and we have been caught unawares by them more than once. We have walked into their traps more than once.
Knowing there are traps there too.
And Serana, shakes her head and just says, "Look, it's not for me to say. Speaker, I will do whatever you ask. But I don't think I can stop an army of thousands with what we have, and even some mercenaries."
And with that, I will open up a document called Red Hand Note Common, which says, in part, we will destroy the humans and build an empire. And that is the common translated version of the note, and I will slam it down on the table. And I will say, this is what they want. You are not standing up to this.
But were you in Brindle? Were everyone in the Vale in Brindle? We might stand a chance.
We stand together and maybe live, or stand apart and definitely die.
Sir Tierden sort of sighs as he looks through these notes and just says, "All right, we need to get people out of here."
That brings us to the next bit of business I wish to discuss.
Well,
Your
following Robert's rules here, I don't believe we've involved new business yet.
All right. We'll get through the old business, then we'll get through the new business. Who's taking minutes?
The book I was reading today made a Robert's Rules joke. That is uncanny.
Normal. I believe that some of the people in the fields think...
People in the fields? What would you know of people in the fields?
I spoke to them. You may wish to try it sometime. I spoke to them, and they believe that you will not allow them to simply return to their farms to work the fields after we return victorious.
They are so fearful of their debt to you that they will not flee for fear of losing the ability to pay you back.
Yes, they risk their children's lives.
And perhaps you should reiterate it in a public forum so that they may know that you are a forgiving landlord who will allow them to rebuild and come back before starting up repayments.
It's easy for brigands like you to say something like that. You're not going to lose anything in this town.
We may lose our lives defending the Vale, which is
I slam my fist down on the table. I lost my mother to these bastards. And you're worried about rent? Rent?
I said nothing about rent. We who live here have farmed this land. We grow things. It's a struggle every year.
Eormal.
Don't make the struggle harder for the farmers. Don't make them think they need to stay here and try to hopelessly protect your little plots of land from the goblins.
I would never make a man stand and fight if they didn't want to.
Oh, really?
Then let us go down to the farms and get the farmers to leave.
We need your help, Jormal.
Yormal,
sorry.
Lormal. Yormal.
Don't do that, man.
Hormel?
Stop it.
Hormel, beef
And
hash?
With that, the speaker raps on the table and says, "It's time for us to put this to a vote. If you don't mind, I'll meet you outside in a few minutes. We'll let you know what we've decided."
Okay. Sir Tiernan, we are going to need to speak after this, our group and yourself.
Oh, of course. Of course.
And we'll walk out and
Yeah, I'll collect my
Hopefully
papers
very
off the table.
Yep.
And we will leave.
Yep.
And it's not long after that Whiston steps out and says, You convinced Sir Tieran and myself, and I mean, with that we have a majority, and we will empty this town as best we can.
excellent. I'm glad to hear it. We can spare maybe a day because there's another matter that we have to attend to in the south. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a whole lot of angry dwarves on our side on this one. But we still need to go there because there's a giant cache of weapons that absolutely need to be destroyed or turned over to our side. How long will the preparations take?
Well, we've already been getting some people out, and Dolores says she and Jarrett have been working with Morlin, and every horse and oxen that's ready to go can go. Give it a couple of days.
All right, that's good. You can
Burning the fields is going to be a hard order to give,
Yes.
but we'll do it.
I
Harvest
would
as much as
suggest
we can.
that it be the last act that is performed.
Yes.
Get everyone out and don't let them see it. It's going to be
Yes.
too hard.
It will be a significant loss to morale. I would assume that just have the soldiers that are part of the rear guard be the ones to perform the action. They will probably be more than able to at least deal with the problem.
Yes.
Have we
last?
considered,
Sorry.
no, sorry. I was just going to say, have we considered, and I know it's not probably morally correct, but leaving traps around? I don't think we have time, do we?
I had thought about that.
But what if we come back and somebody gets hurt, like someone returning?
We will have to make sure they are properly cleaned up. However, I had put some thought into that. If we destroy the ferry...
Yeah, that's what I was going to
have-
say. The last one out, cut the ferry lines.
Well, no, just literally dig up the post, like get the posts out.
Yeah, don't even deny them both posts.
But I was thinking we put spikes of some like sharpened stakes in the water for the hobgoblins that are going to have to swim across to build a new ferry.
Now that is mean.
They're mean.
There's less chance of when we return, someone, if we know they're all in the water, we can warn refugees as they return. I don't like to... I feel wrong. This isn't right. Like,
They leave traps for us.
I
They
know.
are not people you can fight fair. Because
I
they are
get
not going
that
to play
now.
fair.
And I'm sorry. I did think we might be able to try to, but I don't anymore. All right, but how do we do
It would be a
that?
simple task to perform, and if we were intelligent enough to mark where we had placed them,
I have a
then
feeling
on
by the-
return they could easily dig them up without too much of an issue.
I have a feeling by the time we're done with this, getting the stakes out of the riverbed will be the least of our issues.
Feeding everyone will. They're stealing for gold right now. In a little bit, it's going to be food.
I agree.
Yep. So, Speaker Whiston, you have 3 days. After
Awesome.
that, this town needs to not have a soul in it.
I will wish you well on your adventures then, and see you in a few days.
Yes.
And
Sorana and I will probably be the last two in town. We'll wait.
the sooner you leave, the better. It is likely that as word spreads, that the roads to Brindle will become choked with refugees.
Yes, and do watch out for the advanced scouts. They've been clever.
Yes, we've
I
still
know-
had issues with them, with the farms across the river.
Yes.
I know Dr. Badme Ison suggested burning the crops last for morale, but it may be better to do it while you still have a force here to stop the fires from being put out.
I'll leave that to Sorana.
Whatever they can.
You've a mind for war. I'm going to have to learn these things.
Learn it fast. You have at most a month. And
no, Brindle knows you're coming. They are preparing as well. It's not just Drellin's ferry that's fleeing. It's everyone all around you. We hope. Oh God, I hope.
I mean, I've already sent riders out ahead, and there are people that are already in Terrelton now, I'm sure, so they will know.
excellent. Then let us rest and get our preparations in. Tomorrow, we may have to kill a lot of fire giants. I hope we survive it. And
at that, Sir Tiernan sort of nimbly steps out from behind the speaker and he goes, "Fire giants?
how were
if
you
you-
hiding back there?
I'm tiny."
We were standing here for like 5 minutes conversing. How did I not see you?
Magic, my boy.
Magic.
Now,
I saw.
I hope you aren't going to ask me to help you kill anything, because I don't use magic to injure.
All we need you to do is place 8 very... Is it 8 or is it 7? 7. 7 very angry people in the Hammerfast holds.
You need transport.
Absolutely.
I can do that.
In the morning, these guys have been marching all day, and they're civilians. They're tired.
That's why you teleport. Feet. Walking's for suckers. And you can see he lifts a little bit off the ground, and he's like, "Come to my tower in the morning. I'll get you where you need to go. Might even do one for free."
We appreciate it. And may
Thank
all
you, Sir Tim.
spellcasters
The
aspire
wise.
to your model.
You should know. Choosing not to do damage with magic removes a lot of the moral quandaries us spell slingers have to face in our careers.
I
Oh,
only
and you
wish
know
I could
what?
follow that.
And I never thought about this, but I don't know if you remember long ago, Patrick. I had said in some of my off time I wanted to copy that Draco Lich alchemy book, the one for making a dragon lich.
Yep.
I'm gonna pull the original. No, I want to keep the original. I'm gonna pull the copy out and give it to Sir Tiernan and say, "See if you can find anything that might help us, because this might be important."
This is a dark tome, but I'll see if I can glean anything from it.
I'm sorry to ask you, but
If
we
you
need
start
to
getting,
cover every base.
Yeah, and if you start getting headaches or if you start hearing voices in your head, just close the book, step away, and just sing nursery rhymes to yourself until you calm down.
Oh, this is the
Do
copy.
you think this is the first evil book I've ever seen?
I sure
Boy,
hope
I've been
it is,
reading
Sir
evil
Tiernan.
books since you were still in an egg.
Is this related to the book that like gave me 2 spells in my spell book?
No, this
Or
was
is
the
that a
one we
different
found next to the pot with all the ingredients in the dragon's tomb.
In the
under...
first session.
Oh, before I joined. Okay.
Yep, bringing it back.
Yep. He will gladly peruse it. He will say, I might get more information out from the original. I'll be happy to give it back to you if when I see you again.
Sigh, and I'll flip the books. I mean, it's got all the information I need. He just wants the original, I figure, but let him have it. I'm in a giving mood today. I had a pretty girl be nice to me.
You absolutely did. And yeah, he
So
will
you thought.
literally fly off towards his home. It is now late in the evening, and you all have earned a good rest.
Hooray!
I'll go back to the wagon, straighten up from them rummaging around, and fall into my bunk.
I assume the rest of you are sleeping in the wagon as well?
Nope, dome.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I'm gonna see if Julius will let me use the dome as well.
Anyone is welcome to use the dome.
Garrison.
Maximilian, I do think we should be near each other.
How do you figure?
Someone in this town is murdering people.
Like,
We are definitely, if you ignore Yorman, we are likely the most wealthy people in town. So regardless of whether they are motivated by greed or by aiding the dragon cult, we are likely targets if we are alone.
where's Sir Tyrannon's tower?
It is up there.
There
A
it
rather
is.
square-looking tower.
Yep.
I'm going to suggest we go camp out near there.
We can move the wagon.
We should move the wagon.
And we
The
have...
wagon's going to collapse this little bridge.
Oh,
No, it's fine. It's fine.
yeah, all right.
But, no, we have 3 familiars now who don't need to sleep, who can do watch, and wake
Sharon
up
is-
their masters.
Sharon is dead, I'm pretty sure.
I toss it... let me double check. I've been keeping track. I am at 4, so we're down to 3.
Alright, bring Mal back.
And
while we're-
Frankie has a better perception than I do.
No, I just figured because they don't have to sleep, right? They just sit on top of the
Nowhere
wagon.
in their staff logs that say they don't have to sleep.
They're summoned. They're not real
M-
creatures.
Mine is actually a construct and is immune to exhaustion, so it really doesn't need to sleep.
Yeah,
You see
familiar-
Index pull out a small deck of cards and like does a really beautiful waterfall shuffle, and he's like, "Yep, we're up all night."
Love it. Yeah, let's pull the wagon up. Glad to see the horses are okay, right? Nobody mess with them. We'll go.
Horse- Yeah, horses are okay. You are told that people were kind of sniffing around. She feels really guilty that somebody got into your wagon without her realizing, but she's just been busy, and they didn't seem to get anything of value.
Nothing of value is gone. Nothing really. I don't think. That's from what I heard anyway. I'm gonna go take a look. Nobody, it doesn't matter. Anyway, no,
From a quick perusal, it is somebody just took the booze.
it's booze that's replaceable.
All of it? Like even the
You don't
physical
believe
stuff?
that. You don't believe that, Seymour.
No,
Not
but that's what he says, and he has his smile kind of wanes and it gets a little crooked as it comes out. The booze is replaceable.
As
But-
a single tear rolls down his cheek.
A 90 proof tier.
But I still have a little, and look, my bed is still good. My papers are here, my pens. The kettle, the shower still works. I think we'll be okay.
You are such a fancy lad.
Remember
Anyway, we're not
when
sleeping in the
part of
sleeping
this character concept was just, I want to have a fucking hot shower?
I'm gonna real quick make a dome outside and sleep in the dome, not in the cart. It's already
Easy
been
enough to
broken
do.
into once.
Yeah, I mean, there's the sound of cicadas and the occasional hooting of owls in the trees.
And
You are
Seymour's
all able to
kettle
get
going
a
off.
yeah, you are all able to get a long rest. The night is uneventful. In the morning, Sir Tiernan will, come out with a couple of scrolls. He will offer one to either Julius or Dr. Ison and say, either are you able to manage a scroll of teleport?
I can
That's a
attempt it.
7th level spell, right?
What's the roll for? Is it Arcana? Or is it just?
Yeah, it's Arcana.
I'm more than likely able to, yes. Especially if I have a little bit of help.
I legitimately cannot because I'm a half caster.
My Arcana bonus, remember, is +10 plus 1d4.
Yes. So yeah, you literally cannot fail half the time.
Yeah, it's well, I can definitely fail that one if I really fuck up. If I roll like straight ones on the guidance and the precision and the 20 die.
Yeah. But that was literally just the +10.
Yeah.
All right. And, he has a map out on the, the front of your sort of wagon. And he says, so, which one of these holds are you going to?
We are going to Citadel Grunharaz.
All right. He marks it off, makes a note of it. And he says, everybody gone to the toilet? Everyone had their food and drink? It's time to go?
Oh, sorry. Give me 5 minutes. No, I'm good. I'm good.
And with that, he will open up a scroll and begin to read off of it. As he does so, you all feel this sort of whoosh as your stomach drops out as you teleport away. And my voice is starting to give out. So we're going to have...
Hi, I'm
Lauren,
Ian. I'll be
roll
your
me-
guest DM.
Roll me percentile dice to see how well this teleportation spell works.
Who?
You?
Lauren.
Woohoo!
Seems okay.
That is an 83. Absolutely. You arrive completely on target. You find yourselves on the side of a rocky volcano. In front of you, you see a black edifice perched high up in the rocks with what appears to be a river of lava streaming through the center of the building. The heat is nearly unbearable as the slow-flowing streams of lava bubble and pop, throwing scorching droplets of molten rock through the air. And even from this distance, a great grinding and clattering can be heard as the forge powers onwards. And as you stare upon this massive dwarven fortress constructed of black iron, bronze, and adamantine, we will pick up there next week.
Yep.
Cool.
Ash agrees. Ah.
All right.
All right, with that, I will bid everyone
This is
adieu.
something you
Catch
guys
next week.
didn't face last campaign.
No,
You
we
got,
did
like,
not.
different levels of every area we could go to. Like different. Does this campaign